Like as if it mattered. Like, okay, this really works. On the second. Everything is in order. We are live. Everything is running. And yes. Welcome. My name is Ike. This is Switzerland.playit with the Tagen, the Angry Game News. It's hump day, so I was told. And yeah, we got some news here. And ahoy there, haste. Game news, show news, and some hardware, video hardware news, or video game hardware news, more specific. Every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, I'm talking about certain stuff which I think should be worth mentioning and talking about it. The more people are in the chat, the more funnier it is. So spread out the news about the Tekken. Just saying. Before we come to those big news, which is not big news, but I just found it interesting to point out that as the biggest news for today. We got John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness and Ghost of Mars getting Amazon exclusive steelbooks. So if you're a John Carpenter fan, there you go. 4K Blu-ray and regular Blu-ray is included in those Amazon limited special steelbooks exclusives. I have no idea if those are like new transfers from the original film reel. Uh, I only can hope for whoever is fan of it. Let's go! Thank you for the buck. Their haste, much appreciated. Ahoy unfolding. So if you're a fan of like the old school John Carpenter horror stuff, there you go. They're going to be released in 12th of August. But like I said, I have no idea what releases there are really. If they are new transfers, would be nice because old film has the ability. If you have like good quality film, master films, you can transfer it up to 8Ks. Hard to say. I don't know about them. We have to guess, wait, and whoever is fan of it, buy it and tell us about it. Praise the sun and smash the rumble, repost, follow, and share. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Thank you. Oh, you are not even seeing shit. Let's go back to the John Carpenter just to see like the steelbook thing here. That's the design. You get like I said, both versions of it, 4K and a regular Blu-ray. The art style, I like the covers, I have to say. I like the cover. Kinda spendy. 45 bucks? I don't know. I wouldn't say it's really spendy, to be honest. You get like both versions, 4K and regular Blu-ray, and it's an exclusive limited edition steelbook. So if you don't buy it now or pre-order it now, and then as long as they have it on stock, you're never gonna get it again. So, and the art style is just looking cool. It has specials on it too, and all that kind of stuff. I have to say, I don't remember ever seeing Ghost of Mars. Prince of Darkness, I've seen that, but Ghost of Mars, no idea. Other news. Apple. Yeah, we have Apple people around on this planet, and they sometimes like to game too. Apple to launch a new all-in-one games app for iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Apple has announced a new dedicated gaming app, Apple Games, which will launch this fall for iPhone, iPad, and Macs. The new app combines the existing Game Center app with the gaming section of the regular App Store, and even has a tab for Apple Arcade. The new app is designed to be an all-in-one destination for gaming on Apple devices, combining easy access to the game store, your purchased game library, Apple Arcade, your friends list, and other community features. All games that are available on the App Store will automatically be included in the Apple Games app. Apple Games will replace the Game Center app when it launches this fall, absorbing the social gaming app feature, including friends list, achievement tracking, leaderboards, and more. I think that's a good idea. That's a good move for Apple. Just combining everything together in one app and make it a little bit more unified, especially because many people who have one Apple product, they usually have a second Apple product. If they have like the phone, most likely they have an iMac or a MacBook or something of that regard. And their system, their ecosystem usually like works very well together. So the app you can play, you can use on an iPhone, iOS. You usually can use it on your tablet and your Mac because Apple is good with that. I have to say, Apple is good with unifying their stuff. And they are trying to get more AAA games like Crimson Desert, The Sims like Inzoi, which Admiral Smoothroad here on Rumble I saw playing that game. Looks fine, but not my type of game. And even Cyberpunk 2077, Lies of P Overture, which is the new DLC update thing, and Hitman World of Assassination and more. So I mean, the more games are going to be spread out, the better, in my opinion. So good on Apple. Good on Apple that Apple thinks a little bit about the gamers. Of course, they are not the one to missing money because iPhone, mobile games, a lot of those there, in-game stores, in-game purchases, microtransaction. It's kind of a big deal, and you're missing out on money for sure. They do look cool, but I have no room for physical media. What are you talking about? Don't you want to preserve physical media? What the heck? I mean, those are movies that are out there. You can get it even in 10 years, 20 years. John Carpenter is like a master of horror, pretty much. And his movies are known around the globe. So you're not going to lose those movies. But still, they look good. I had Apple Arcade when I had their combined all-in-one subscription. It's a decent value to get mobile games without microtransactions. I mean, they are still having microtransaction games. I tried once, it didn't work back then. That was now 1.5 years ago. Future Fight, which is like a Marvel game. I play that game still on my smartphone, on my Android, because it allows you like to have a few weeks before Disney Marvel launches a new series, new show, new movie, to see the costumes and shit like that, which is just an interesting aspect. But this one didn't work for my MacBook back then. So they might do unify it even more and more, which is a good thing. A lot of games ported to macOS are buggy, unfortunately. Yeah, it didn't even show up on my MacBook back then. Speaking of hardware, you might like that, but I don't think you're going to pay for that either. Haste. Neither I will. I just consider like hardware wise if it's interesting. Aya Neo just announced a new handheld homage to the 3DS, and it could outspace the ROG Xbox LEX. So that's how it looks here. Looks like a big 3D DS, right? Like the biggest versions of those things with more buttons. I wanted just to check out like what it has combined in hardware compared to the Asus. So we don't know the price, but they assume it's about 900 to 1,000 bucks. A lot of money. The combined APU, meaning GPU and CPU, is an AMD again here too, but it has more cores and more threads. So it's a way more beefier than the ROG, the ROG. We don't know how much RAM, but given that the previous version had like up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, you could have selected in your setup. This one will most likely also go up to 64 gigabyte, which is nice, but that's also going to push the price a lot because it's going to be like soldered in RAM stuff. Most likely. I don't know for sure because we don't have a lot of information here. Storage shouldn't be a fucking issue in today's time. Storage is now since 1.5, 2 years very low the whole time. So it should be 2 terabytes for the same price. Display seems to be better, and it has two because it's like a flip thing. It has two, one upper, one lower. OLED, so it most likely has HDR. So why not having also a very speedy one, 144 hertz, 7-inch 1080p. Compared to the 7-inch regular IPS, yeah, that's a way bit better value overall. Way better value. 2 displays, higher resolution. No, not higher resolution, but higher frame rate. Nice. But we have no idea how long the battery will last. And it's gonna run just with Windows 11. And like I reported yesterday, Microsoft wants to push their game app, their game bar stuff on mobile devices more and more on, and they claim like it's going to be more optimized for gaming. I don't think so. I don't think that more layers of anything on top of your system will make it faster. I I really don't think that. Most likely, it's just going to utilize more performance of your GPU CPU combination there. It's not going to be just faster because it has another layer of a subsystem on top. So makes no sense to me, those claims. But yes, Microsoft is going to push this game bar, newer game bar, Xbox app, stylish, more interconnected Xbox app, stylish thing upon this thing. Ioneer hasn't touched on memory configuration yet beyond using LPDDR5X, but it's likely we'll see up to 64GB based on its existing handheld lineups. The Flip 1 SDS also inherits plenty of premium perks from its predecessor, including Hall effects, thumbsticks, an optical finger mouse pad, 2 full-featured USB-C ports, and 6-axis gyro. I don't even know if the Asus or ROG has gyro. Haven't seen anything about that. But yes, it's going to be most likely very, very pricey. And as long as we don't know about the battery life, I don't think it's going to be that valuable, to be honest, for that price. You better get a decent 15-inch or 14-inch notebook, in my opinion, with a good controller to be on the way, having something to play in your hands. I mean, if the battery doesn't last like 5 hours, like the Steam Deck, I think you're not gonna get a lot of buyers for this little gadget. I think it looks good though. I think it looks good. 2 displays, thumbsticks, all the buttons you need, trigger buttons as on the shoulders. It looks good. Let's say that it looks good, but I'm super skeptical about the battery life. I already use Windows 11 LTSC on my Steam Deck, and it's got a lot of the bloat removed. Good. But you have the biggest bloat still on it. Xbox app. I know that. I'm pretty sure you have that shit on. First, I wanted this news to be my main news, but then came Neil Cuckman up, so this one is going to be a little bit shorter. And I didn't even know about that. Who knew about this shit, man? I didn't know. I might have heard at one point, but almost a year ago, the video game voice actors went on strike. Now this week, they pretty much lifted every restrictions, and the strike is over. Who would have known? I didn't. Did you know about that? I might have heard, like I said, but I forgot completely because it's not important. When you strike about shit like that, it's just virtual signaling. Yeah, like you're pretending to care for your job instead of being like irreplaceable. You're just being a douchebag, in my opinion. About those jobs, at least. Because if it would be a strike from workers who want more like safety at their workplace, not to get chopped off hands and shit like that on a regular basis, that's a different story. Video game voice actors strike may be over soon after a tentative deal. Last July, SAG-AFTRA declared a video game voice actor strike against the industry's major publishers over several issues, including AI protections for performers. The strike has lingered amongst almost a year, but the end may be in sight. SAG-AFTRA has announced that the Actors Union has reached a tentative agreement with the video game companies. Yeah. Big fucking win. I don't think it's going to change jack shit because I haven't felt anything of this strike in the gaming industry. Nothing. Absolutely jack shit. Those games I was interested in, I played, and those I was not interested in, I didn't play. It didn't seem to me like it affected a lot. Of course, we have to expect maybe now games will release earlier or something like that because they can go to work back, whatever. Whatever, man. What's the guy that's in everything? Baker. I mean, I know the name, but I have no face to it. I don't care because they are the main issue they had is like their voice being used by AI and in their eyes, of course, abused and misused, and they're getting not paid for it and all that, which is in the first place, it's a legit like concern. I agree on that, but you can't avoid that shit because companies are gonna move on. What's gonna save them money is to replace voice actors because AI is gonna get better and better. Mm, You just type in the prompt to do this part like surprised or surprised longer. Maybe like even tell it how long of a surprise you should act up as an AI voice and all that stuff. That's gonna get more sophisticated over time. That is unavoidable, unfortunately, I have to say, but it's gonna happen, and they can't like circumvent that. And companies will like analyze voices, what sounds best for that character, and it's gonna be similar to already existing voice actors. And they then will claim and make it like a court case in court cases very obvious and clear. This voice is not your voice. It's generated with our processors, with our CPUs, with our language models, with our creative ideas behind all our systems. You had nothing to do with it. This was just generated on our machines. And sorry for you that you have a similar voice, but look, we can show you how it's done, how the process is done. And they will be able just to tweak it like higher pitch, lower pitch, slower, and all that. It's going to be like a sophisticated system in a few years from here on. So that's like a lost cause. You just striked for something lost because that's gonna just show companies how they can circumvent certain stuff from now on. Good job, I would say. Instead of just making yourself irreplaceable, meaning like acting, like keep the companies wanting to hire you, you just made it even less attractive for them to get you. Most likely. I can't, of course, view into the future. I'm no prophet, but if it's going to save them a lot of money, you are out of work. Then you can go to fiverr.com and offer your service for $20 per half hour or some shit. Work. And unlike actors, the AI doesn't shitpost on X and tarnish the product. That's true too. Unless the company wants that. You never know. You never know how. Never underestimate the stupidity of companies. Hey, never. Never do that. A little pause, just a little pause. Everybody who is seeing me, I see as a few people are online and watching me talking about some game news and show news. Down in the video description, you have all the links of every article I'm talking about today and my contact links and my donation links. But best thing would be just do a thumbs up. Maybe it's going to trigger some algorithms on Rumble and YouTube. Who the fuck knows, right? And maybe it's going to show other people like, oh yeah, maybe we should check out this guy who screams sometimes and who is angry, it seems, and who has a weird accent. And of course, give me all your money. That's just a side note, because we got the money today. Oh, I should. You got like enough attention there. Haste $1. Thank you again. This is the news I want to talk most about it today. That's why I'm going to read the whole article. The Last of Us showrunner knows some of Neil Cuckman's ideas for The Last of Us Part 2, but he is not sure Naughty Dog will make any of them. I don't know if he's zeroed in on one. He is not, because he can't claim just, I'm going to produce it. If Naughty Dog doesn't want to produce jack shit, they most likely are not going to produce jack shit anymore. because they killed the IP. This one, I think, in my opinion, in my humble retard opinion. And it's a surprise that they made even a TV show. And it seems like first season was okay. Second season, more people tuned out completely and don't want to see probably the third season, which is the second part of the second game, which is also a stupid idea in my opinion. Now that season 3 of the TV show is on the way, we are all waiting to see if Naughty Dog decides to make The Last of Us 3. Part 3, not just 3, Part 3. Neil Cuckman has ideas for another installment, and the HBO adaptation's showrunner, Craig Mazin, knows what they are, but he's staying coy about the possibilities. Staying coy about the possibilities. Naughty Dog might consider it. They're probably just waiting for season 3 to come out and look at the numbers. But most likely they're not going to do jack shit because they already made the part 2 of the game and they know about their own number and how much people like it. And they killed like a very beloved character in the whole game franchise with a very stupid method there. And I don't know anybody who likes the game, this part 2. Part 1, amazing. I love it. Just play part 1 and forget everything else. But yeah, Naughty Dog killed it itself. So doesn't Ellie have no fingers and Joel is dead? What would the third game even look like? Play as the tranny monster? Yeah. Because as far as I know, like I said, I never played part 2. As far as I know, you play in part 2. Where's Brew when we need him? In part 2, you kill Joel, or Joel gets killed by a 9 iron golf iron, right? 9. And I think it was a 9, who knows. And after that kill, you play as Abby. So you play as the killer right away. So, and I wonder why this game was not so super successful. It was probably the worst like switch to new characters you could have done. After you made this whole journey with Joel and Ellie together throughout the world, getting from point A to B, killing a lot of people and getting this connection with each other, making a relationship. He views her sooner or later as a daughter because his real daughter died, right? And she, of course, considers him sooner or later as a dad too, and a complete mess up with part 2. So yeah, you would most likely start as Abby with a new journey of whatever kind. Speaking of the BFTA, on the back of the third season, Mazin was asked about where Cuckman at in terms of part 3. Yeah, stupid phrase. He revealed it's all in discussion, though whether any decisions have been made is beyond him at present. I am familiar with some concepts of. Why can't I read today? Fucking article. I'm familiar with some concepts that Neil has kicked around for potential third game. I don't know if he's zeroed in one of them. He explains, adding that although he'd like part 3 to happen, he also thinks maybe less is more. After part 2, yeah, less is way more. And especially the show is not doing super well anymore. Sometimes I think maybe you should just be happy. Don't be sad it's over. Be happy that it happened at all. I don't think many people are sad because it's over, part 2. I think many people are more mad than you made this part 2 that way. But what the fuck do I know, I guess. He goes on to gush over Naughty Dog's abilities as a studio, especially in regards to narrative work between Uncharted and The Last of Us. The outfit is a standard bearer for engrossing cinematic games. Each of the latest two installments so far hitting especially hard. Yeah, I wouldn't say especially hard. Be happy that Joel got the beat down with a golf club by the girl he saved. Uh, you can view it this way. Did he save Abby? I don't know if he saved Abby. I don't think he saved Abby. Cuckman himself has gone back and forth on the status of another chapter. He mentioned during Grounded, the making of The Last of Us Part 2, that there's probably one more outgoing for Joel and Ellie. However, in March of this year, he told people not to expect Part 3, as if he has the whole control of that being made or not. Company Naughty Dog, who has the rights to that franchise. The whole company has a saying in that. Not only you, Mr. Cuckman. I don't know who came up with that name for him, but somehow it it connects. I think he might be a cock. Who knows? A gay cock, by the way. And suggested that HBO show might be where The Last of Us concludes completely. What do you mean concludes completely? The game concluded. The show is made after the game, right? And you told us so many times the show is gonna be like the game. And now you're telling us the show is gonna conclude completely. I hate people who bullshit. You as the customer. But in that sense, you are just a consumer because you like his shit, maybe? I hope not. As strong as the desire for another chapter of The Last of Us is, Part 2 gave us a neat ending, and perhaps we should be satisfied with that. Naughty Dog has already teed up its next venture with Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, a cosmic project centered around a bounty hunter millennia from now. Honestly, the premise of Intergalactic suggests the development team would like to get away from Earth, Nathan Drake, and the Cordyceps for a while. Mazin adds he'll be there to play whatever Naughty Dog puts on shelves. I'll be there on day one to play Intergalactic. If there's another Uncharted, I'll play it. If there's another Last of Us, I'll play it. He finishes. Yeah, or in Euro. Speaking of that, Naughty Dog seems to be stupid. Naughty Dog seems to be not learning from their mistakes about genders, about DEI, about the mythical ESG scoring that brings you later on more money, which is not a thing. Go look up what ESG really is and doing it for your company. It is just fantasy numbers, fantasy ratings amongst each other without any fucking value behind it, really. But yes, Naughty Dog has not learned from the Last of Us Part 2, so they are going missing out, I think, to redeem themselves because they are going to bring you this. I'm not going to show more. There's a trailer, like an announcement trailer for Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, and that seems to be your main protagonist. Oh, yeah, ouch, my junk. I don't care for Asian people. That's not the issue here. She has no tits. She has a shaved head. And of course, she is depicted already as this boss lady, badass bounty hunter in this trailer where you don't see anything else. But you already, if you watch the trailer, you already get the feeling. Great job. Great fucking job, Naughty Dog. I'm so not going to buy this game. I can't wait to not buy this pile of steaming dog shit. But if you're like a Naughty Dog super fan, if you have not detached from their stupidity, you might buy it. It's up to you. It's your money. Who am I to tell you how you should invest your money, right? I think you should invest it in my channel right now and give me all your money, but it's up to you guys. If you want to play androgynous female, wannabe female, tranny, whatever that is, a guy with tits, small tits. Go for it. Go for it. I'm not gonna waste my money on that crap. Just saying. Oh, you Godzillas. Absolutely space tranny. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, Naughty Dog got big with Crash Bandicoot, right, on PlayStation 1. They got bigger with the Uncharted series. They started on the PlayStation 3, yeah. And all the Uncharted up to the last Nathan Drake one were absolutely great. The remasters were very well done. Great stories, great gameplay, good voice acting, good cinematics. Everything is all right. Even in the last one, what is it? Drake's Legacy or something, Thief's Legacy, something like that, with the two boss ladies. Gameplay wise, fine. Story wise, meh. But I love those games. I loved those games, right? And Last of Us Part 1, great too. But then you just go idiotic and you just don't make me buy anything from you anymore. It has to be like amazing again and some propaganda messages from players who were brave enough to buy your crap and to test it out and maybe say like, yeah, just overlook this little part, but the rest is good. Maybe that can save you, but I'm not very optimistic about that. Just pointing it out. About good games, though, how about we talk about good games? I want just to mention that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 got a bigger update. You can have modifiers now in the game. So if you played it already through, you can play it on New Game Plus, which makes the enemies have more HP anyway. But gameplay wise, otherwise, it's still the same. They have now updated it. You can choose your modifier. So the enemies can have up to 100 times more HP. I don't know if that makes the game more difficult or not, because this game is all about parry and dodging. So if you are good with parrying and dodging, you're just extending the fight time wise against the bosses and the enemies. Otherwise, I don't see a big plus there. For normies, we have better news though. For normies, you have like here it is. Story mode players hoping for more peaceful experience are eating good with this update too, as it increases parry and dodging windows by a whopping 40% while reducing incoming damage by 10%. I don't mind for that, but that might be a nice thing for normies. Having time windows increased 40%, almost 50%, that might make you able to play like against Simon, the real end boss in this whole game. So that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward. I'm gonna try Simon now even more. He's a bitch. But yes, a very successful game. Has a normie update and also an update for guys who and girls who wanted to play longer against enemies. I don't know. It doesn't make it more attractive for me, but there you go. Oh, Eden. I have to use a wired controller for latency, reducing latency. I found depends on the controller, how good the controller really is. I got like my new, I didn't even realize it. 8-bit Pro, is it Pro Duo? No, the ultimate Bluetooth controller. And it works perfectly fine, man. I don't have any latency issue with this one. You can use it either Bluetooth or with the docking station, the wireless one. It feels great. It works perfectly fine, and I'm not like slower or quicker or anything like my 8-bit Pro 2. wired one. I had to throw that because wire got like a little burn in actually when I opened it up. But yes, you need to be precise anyway with Simon at least. The rest of the game, I killed like every enemy. Every enemy I encountered in the game, I killed. Any boss, any enemy, I was able to kill all of them. There's a tower which has like special bosses up to 13 levels or something, and it gets harder and harder, and they can one hit you too if you don't pay attention. Simon is the real deal though. Snow White ends its box office run as one of Disney's worst performing live action remakes in almost a decade, proving a rare misfire. A rare misfire, really? I mean, maybe in live action remakes, sure, but not rare in misfiring like box hits, Disney. So Games Radar is here a little bit like deceiving, maybe making it sound like, yeah, it's just because it's live action, it got not enough attention, blah blah blah. Disney's Snow White live action remake has ended its box office run and it's Disney's worst performing live action remake since 2016's Pete's Dragon. Pete's Dragon, a remake of the 1977 film of the same name, raked up a global box office total of 143.7 million US dollars. In comparison, Snow White has ended its run with 205.5 million. They talk about Mulan, about the COVID was the case for Mulan's flop, blah blah blah. I think the biggest mistake Disney did here is just having like a bad face in the role of Snow fucking White. I think many people actually would have not cared about her fucking political stance. Not really. But her appearance in this movie, her singing, her style overall doesn't fit with Snow White. And yeah, you don't give us like comparison numbers really, how much the movie cost and what was the profit and all that. You just give us like a statement. It is the worst since Pete's Dragon 2016. Disney not doing too well, to be honest. Not doing too well. Lilo and Stitch, which was just released a week ago, seems to do okay and will reach like the 1 billion US dollar box office mark. And it didn't cost too much. I think they didn't need a lot of reshoots either. Probably not even one bigger scene was reshot of Lilo and Stitch. And it seems to be just beloved by kids. That's the most important one. Because kids, if that's also a kids movie. Kids see if you're like having a bad time as an actress performing. Her singing is mediocre, you know. So why should kids like cheer for this crap, for this pile of poop? Snow Squatch. She's hairy. Aren't you hairy too? Ever eaten? Because old and such. Oh yeah. Nobody telling me shit about my screen. I forgot. Professional. I'm beautiful. And hairy. You have hair on your head, right? So. Good news for PlayStation controller owners. Upcoming DualSense update will allow controllers to pair with multiple devices at once. So later this year, so this year still, they don't mention when exactly, they're gonna push a firmware update for your DualSense PS5 DualSense controller, and you can pair it now with multiple devices, which might be great news for people who love that controller. I think I never held actually a PS5 controller in my hand, a DualSense one, but it must be good. And then the official controllers are usually like high quality and all that. Now, if you compare it like without any issues with multiple devices, meaning your PS5 and maybe like an Xbox because Bluetooth, right? And a PC, I think that's a win for the owner of DualSense controllers who like that most, right? And who don't want to like repair and go through that the whole hassle about that. So you just need to wait later this year for this ability. Good news, I think. Good news. PS3. I have also a PS3. It's actually right here. You don't see it, but it's a white one because white power. Yeah, I can't show you. I have to go with my whole table down. So. It's beauty. It's a beauty, a white beauty. Got it for very cheap, about 90 bucks or so with 2 controllers. So why the fuck not, right? PS3, a great console. PS5 controller is different. I mean, the style, just how you hold it and how it feels and all that. But that's not the thing. It's the thing that you can now, not now, when it's going to be released, this update, use it for all your devices. How many devices? They don't tell us really, but I assume it's going to have enough like safe states for all your devices at home, meaning 2 consoles and a PC. Maybe even on your phone. I use a spare Bluetooth controller for my phone. Just saying. How you feel about the Switch 2 news? Not great Switch 2 news if you are a Switch 2 owner. Yet not great news. Maybe it's going to be better. The Switch 2 has a big dock compatibility problem, and I need Nintendo to fix it before it ruins my summer plans. Yeah, Phil? Nobody cares about your summer plans, though. Don't make it sound like you're more important than the rest. Believe me when I say I've been making Switch 2 summer plans since its announcement. Yes, I'm that kind of loser, but upon getting my grubby paws on the handheld, I discovered that it doesn't work with any third-party docking stations or portable monitors with USB-C input. And he tells us about what he tested, so that's important to know for Switch 2 users. Go read the whole article, which is down below. And he complains why it's not working, that the other devices recognizes it is the Switch 2, but no pictures is being shown. I can't control jack shit and all that. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know what protocol Nintendo is using, if they just need to have like certified third-party products to have a handshake, meaning they give a little code to the third-party producer, manufacturer, and they just put it in their firmware and it's going to be able to use it. Maybe it's something proprietary, meaning the USB-C, the connector is the same, but it might have not like a display output actually included, but it's all data, like encrypted data, very specific, and only their official Switch 2 dock can handle that data stream. I have no idea. Probably it is not the case, but it's Nintendo, so you never know. It would be a bad move by Nintendo. They might lose a lot of customers and future customers if they can't buy like a cheaper or a better or a more versatile third-party cable, which has like direct USB-C to HDMI connectivity, whatever. But we have to wait for now. For now, it seems like this guy, Phil Hayton, has tested it out and none of his devices work with the Switch 2, which is bad news for every Switch 2 owner who wanted to take it with them somewhere else and not take the whole official docking station with them to play it on different screens and bigger screens and all that. So yeah, there you go. We have no idea. He assumes that this and that is the case, but he also has no idea. He can't tell you because only Nintendo knows. Something we all know now. Death Stranding creator Hideo Kojima is passing ideas onto his staff for after he dies, but he doesn't want them to copy him because they will go out of business. I'm not going to pass the baton to anyone. What wanted I to read here? Not everything. Pretty much only his stuff. I'm not going to pass the baton to anyone. I will rather crush the baton. He laughs. I don't need to give Hideo Kojima to anyone. If I pass the baton to my staff and tell them to make things the same way I do, the company will not succeed and will go out of business. So he had this interview with JQ, GQ, and told a little bit how he has plans about his company when he dies. He's what is it, 61, and he's thinking about what happens to his stuff when he dies, his company. And I don't know if you don't want to teach your staff like how he does the stuff. You know, it's Kojima Productions. So if they don't do it like Kojima, there's going to be a lot of Kojima Productions in it, right? But that's we're going to see in 20, 30 years. If we are still alive then, who knows? What Death Stranding version or what games come out then, who knows? Maybe he doesn't succeed with his own stuff and his company gonna go bankrupt sooner in the first place. We all don't know that, but he makes just very clear that he doesn't want others to copy him and his like mind being copied as a creator, just to use like his mentality as a driving force for future games when he's not around anymore. Death Stranding to me was lame, to each their own, but not into them kind of stories. Yeah, the story was okay, but I already told about that. I have a lot of videos with Death Stranding. My playthrough is on the channel. Go check it out on the playlist. I think about 16, 17 episodes, with each on average 4 hour-ish or more. I loved the gameplay. I loved absolutely the gameplay. The story was like, yeah, whatever. FP is not around. He's gonna play that Death Stranding 2 for sure. He bought actually the PS5 pretty much only for Death Stranding. He told at one point. A game I am not interested, but it might be interesting as a little note. Grounded 2 exists because Obsidian was running out of room in Grounded 1. So Grounded 2 is coming out or already released? No, it's going to be coming out. When? I forgot. Doesn't matter. We just need to listen what the creators tells us. There's a handful of different reasons, but I'll focus on a few of them, answers executive producer Marcus Morgan when asked why Obsidian made a sequel instead of just continually updating Grounded 1. Thing number one was we started Grounded 1 on the original Xbox One, and we were running out of room to actually physically get things into the game. And so, if we wanted to add any more content, we actually would have a hard load to expand the game. And that ruined the concept of being really immersed and really being in this continuous space. I don't know if this guy is like honest to us. I've seen like a gameplay of Grounded 1, and it didn't look to me like it was very like demanding on the hardware itself. Yes, Xbox One is now pretty old. I don't even know when Xbox One was released. What was it? 2012, 13? Xbox One. Let's find out. 2013. So 12 years old, 13 years old console now. And telling me this console would have not been able, or this generation would have not been able to load like bigger games? I mean, do you need like to show the whole world at once? I don't think so. I think you're bullshitting us. Visually, you can do, of course, way more these days than on the Xbox One. Oh, Snooty, ahoy! Hail Switzerland, hail chat. No hail for Nintendo. Why not? Are you not fan of Nintendo? You have a Switch too. Didn't you tell us that you have a Switch too? Are you not pleased with Nintendo? I mean, I'm not gonna buy it either, but whatever. Um, but yeah, back to Grounded. I'm pretty sure they could have loaded in bigger maps and all that, but just visually, probably you have reached the limit long ago. I'm pretty sure about that. Yes, but like the reasons you gave us here are bullshit reasons. I'm very confident in that statement by me that you are bullshitting us. Because reminder, The Witcher 3, one of my favorite games of all times, was also released on Xbox One. And it looked amazing back then even. Yes, in the meantime, after 10 years, we have now updates, next gen updates, a lot of updates on The Witcher 3. But even back then, it looked amazing. Had bigger landscapes and all that, different areas you could load in and all that. So I don't know why you're telling us such nonsense. I don't know. But whoever played Grounded 1, I hope you have a lot of fun with Grounded 2. I'm not gonna buy it. I would play it if somebody is gifting it to me. Just, just, just saying. Almost done. Almost. And I'm time-wise very well. The games in 2014 were better optimized. They had to probably. I think it feels like the further we move on with the new systems, the less they pay attention to details, to optimizing, to utilize the RAM better or utilize the storage better and all that stuff, right? In today's time, you have like 100 plus gigabyte games that if you don't have like a $2,000 GPU, there's no point in having such big games in the first place. Only minority can utilize like visually the content of a game with in that sizes. So I'm not sure what game developers are thinking. They could like release games and make in about 2 3 years like a little update for everybody for free. In the meantime, publish a game that everybody can play with less beefy hardware. Make chairman great again. Which chairman though? No, today's time you need to have a game that has the ability to be black or have a dick with boobs. I don't want to think about shit like that. Eden, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I mean, it's late for her. She's an Aussie. She should be asleep, but she's here. Thank you for that, though. Those damn hairy, beautiful Aussies. Hairy, beautiful old Aussies. Because she emphasized so often, she's old, she's old. She's not old. She's the same age like me. And I don't look too old. Hmm? Not really. I look how I feel. Let's put it that way. That was a controversy a little bit. I don't know why he made it even worse for himself. The Splitgate 2 boss is still talking about his dumb hat. Yeah, I mean, how you phrase it yourself, you piece of cocksucking bitch. Ethan Gach. Gach. It's like a Klingon name. Ethan Gach. I mean, you don't pronounce it in English like that, but you pronounce it in German like that. Gach. Sounds like a Klingon. It is really freaking hard as an independent studio to break through the noise. It took like some screenshots to making look even sadder and shit. An unusual email hit my inbox earlier today. It was from PR for the makers of Splitgate 2, a free-to-play portal shooter that released just a few days ago and stirred up drama with a MAGA-infused meme at Summer Game Fest. From studio head Ian Broll. The CEO of 1047 Games has issued a video statement and apology to the community and gaming fans for his Make FPS Great Again had during Summer Game Fest. The email read, it offered interviews. The PR offered interviews, the PR department. I'm not going to read more. I'm just want to give my 2 cents about the whole issue. Why did this guy, the CEO, Ian Prolux, gave any fucking attention to the screaming, screeching, blue-haired freaks out there in the first place? And most of them are for sure blue-haired, and they have a nose ring, probably too. And of course, the pronouns in their bios on Blue Sky, right? Why you give them any attention and excuse yourself and give an apology statement out there for your hat? That was, yes, in the style of make America great again, make FPS great again. The statement was perfectly fine. Absolutely perfectly fine. You just could have ignored all that crap around it, not making any other statements, and just focus on your product. I don't know if it's going to be now better for him or worse for the whole company, for the whole game, Splitgate 2, which seems to be fun for many shooter fans out there. Battle Royale shooters and all that. Free to play, so you're gonna have enough players, in my opinion, if the game plays well. But being that retarded to uh, give apologies to freaks, why? Why are you that retarded to give a rat's ass about people's opinion? You're not even sure if they ever gonna touch your game in the first place. And like I said, with the statement, make FPS great again, nothing wrong with it. Some people might think, even conservatives in that space, whatever a conservative is, might think like, I don't see a problem. FPS were always great. I don't see the need for such a hat, right? But other than that, just fucking ignore idiots. Ignore real fucking idiots. Just don't give them any fucking ammunition against your product. Especially when you're an independent studio who makes just money with the hope of people playing it for free and giving you money in microtransactions, buying your skins and all that. So I think now he has become even dumber, reacting again in that sense. I have even less interest in downloading that game, playing it in the first place now. Why? Why the fuck do you care about fucking idiots who will never, never, ever care about your game in the first place? And you see, like Kotaku makes like this stupid statement in the title here about his dumb hat. So that tells me a lot about the writer Ethan Gach. Just he's a dumbass. So that's just my take on it. Blue, pink, red, green, and mixes. Green is very, very rare. because they have symbols with those colors connected. Haven't seen green for quite a while. Last news for the day. Last news for the day, everybody. Switch 2 sells a record-breaking 3.5 million units in 4 days. It's probably the biggest console launch ever. Hey, I haven't checked like all old numbers if that's true or not. It might be. On the other hand, more people are gaming these days in the first place. And maybe Nintendo had a good PR campaign going, like with the tariffs. So get your consoles now before tariffs later on. I'm going to make it more expensive and all that shit. But seems they have success and good for them. And everybody who got it, I hope you have fun with it. I still think it's way too expensive. But yeah, a record, it seems. Nintendo Switch 2 is off a roaring start. Early on Wednesday, Nintendo announced that it had sold 3.5 million units of its new console in just 4 days, making it Nintendo's fastest selling console ever. Might be true, like I said, but what about, is it gonna sell like in this rate over the years? Is it gonna sell like up to 200 million maybe in 5-10 years? That's the real important question here. The fastest selling doesn't mean shit if just sales drop, right, in about half a year. Maybe in the end of the year, in the holidays, some new push in sales are being observed and all that. But fastest selling doesn't mean shit, in my opinion. But yeah, good for you. Good for you. And like I said, I hope who has one has fun with it. That's the most important part of all gaming. No matter records, no matter how bad graphics are, no matter how good it was sold, how much people bought it and all that. If you got something and you have fun with it, that's the real important thing here, actually. In fact, this is likely the biggest console launch of all time by quite some margin. For comparison, PlayStation 5 shipped 4.5 million units in its first 7 weeks. PlayStation 4 sold 2.1 million in a little over 2 weeks, and Nintendo Switch sold 2.74 million in its first month. How much did, though, PlayStation 2 sold? I mean, I remember the Xbox, the very first one, the original. Was a very mid start, but it sold better over time. Especially in Japan, it was not a lot appreciated there, but overall big success for Microsoft. But yeah, PlayStation 2 and Super Nintendo. And you have to compare it like in price, inflation, all that. You have to check out how much money people had back then and this time and all that. And so the fastest selling stuff is for me less important for sure. But yeah, there you have it. A new record set by Nintendo, and I hope everybody who got one is very, very happy with it. And we are done with the news. Speaking of the news, once more, if you want to read it, what I told you about today, about the articles, are all down below linked. And you have my contact links down there too. You can follow the channel either here on YouTube, on Kick, which I'm not streaming because Kick made, for some reason, over Studio at least, chunks of video files. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9, 9. And it was super annoying. So I'm leaving out for now that part, Kick. But YouTube, I'm streaming on YouTube. Nobody was there today, I think. Doesn't matter. Just go on. Just go. Just move on. And on Twitch. So there's that. Follow me there if you want. You can, even if you have Amazon Prime, by the way, and many people don't know that, go to Twitch, log in, and give me your monthly giveaway, like subscription for free. You have, as a Amazon Prime member, you can give on any streamer, any content creator, your fiver out there every month once, as long as you have a subscription. So, there is that. Contact me, like I said, on Discord. Join the Discord. Always some giveaway there. I have a channel just giving away games that I don't need and don't want. Some of those games are actually like top tier games. Just pointing it out. And we're gonna see us tomorrow, 10 a.m. like every day from Monday through Friday here on Switzerland Play It, with news about games, about game hardware, video games hardware, PC stuff, shows, and some movie crap too. I thank you everybody for being around. Ahoy FP and bye FP very soon. Fuck Twitch, fuck YouTube. Yeah, but also fuck Rumble, because Rumble is also asshole. They just don't censor, but they are also asshole. Just be real with yourself. So far, I'm happy though on Rumble, because the Rumble is my streaming home. If it's not working on YouTube, nah, I don't care. If it doesn't work on Twitch, I don't care. If the video vanishes on YouTube, because I don't care about trannies, for example. I can say faggot all day long. They might not like it and then remove it. Who knows? But yeah, diversify myself, diversification, man. It is important. And bringing the word back in a good light, in a good spotlight. Diversification. That was before, was an important word before those faggots and trannies got hold of it. Yeah, thank you for being around. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for the rants, Haste and Snooty. Bye bye.